Yeah, another frozen morning. A little bit of fog coming down. Not too, well, I shouldn't say that I haven't looked around the corner. It was up on the hill, probably coming down now. Making a phone call here in a little bit when places are open and people will answer their phones and see if I can't get me a scrap dumpster out here. Talked to the guy the other day, asked him how far out they were on getting them, and he says, no, usually 2 or 3 days before you get one. So, I mean, this stuff's pretty straightforward. Throw it in the loader bucket and dump it in the dumpster, for the most part. Some of it's going to stick around. Those cut-offs off panels, I mean, that'll make a narrow gate someplace. Ain't no sense in screwing that up, right? Some of the heavier stuff. But yeah, that'll go. Including those shoes that I made. That worked. Told us that it was worth spending the money on the factory ones. Well, aftermarket factory. Aftermarket ones are heavier than the factory ones, and they worked good. And it worked out good only putting 4 shoes on rather than having to do the whole frickin' mower. And there's a spring there. It's going to go, Those pistons, I keep thinking I might want to do something with those, but yeah, I've seen cup holders made out of them and that kind of thing. And that requires a little playing around and working. But yeah, there's plenty here. A lot of stuff against the wall doesn't go anywhere, like that harrow. And there's a pallet full of, it's lighter shelving material, industrial stuff, but it's lightweight. But I've used a bunch of that for stuff. Other than that, 90% of this goes. Plus what we're going to cut up. Figure out what all we're going to cut up. But that's why I moved the trailer out of the way, because I can put the dumpster in front of the blue truck. Kind of in the middle of everything, but out of the way, right? And it won't be there but a few days, I hope. And there's a bunch of whiny butts out there bellering this morning. I then kicked the 1 cow and calf out of this first little maternity pen here for the 2-year-olds yesterday. And where did I find that calf this morning? In there. I'm not sure how he got there, but he sure wanted out and back to his mommy. I was going to show that, but he was being such a little shit that I about wore myself out chasing him around. Yeah, it is foggy up above, but, Anyway, see what the day brings. Oh, and if I'm going to put it at the beginning and you would have already seen it, or I'll put it at the end. Ty got about a minute worth of video dinking around with the calves in there yesterday. Of course, it's the wrong aspect, but, you still get to see them.
Well, you get the gist, right? I was afraid it was going to start to bend there where it was cut out for the wheel wells. This old bed was on a 62 International truck that we got from a neighbor many years ago. Started out as a fuel hauler, and then he bought it when they retired it in the late 60s. And he used it to haul his horses and mules to go hunting and to haul hay. And when he decided to graduate to a pickup and a trailer, we ended up with it. And really all it did, we hauled hay on it once in a while. You know, we needed a smaller truck to deliver into some place. But most of what it did was, our old burn barrel was a 675-gallon fuel tank that we used for a nurse tank when we were spraying. And that basically stayed on this thing. That's why it's got one winch over there. One strap across the middle of that sucker to hold it down is all it took. Then we graduated to that tank because the other one rusted out too much. And really haven't used it for a few years. But most of this is going to go in a scrap bin. Supposed to have a dumpster probably Thursday. I'm not going to worry about trying to salvage the side rails because all the extra shit that's on them. There's just too much screwing around. But we'll salvage all the cross members. The only thing in there is the bolts that held the floor on. And this was about the easiest way to get the floor off. And I'm not sure why there's a piece of metal there. Obviously, it's kind of hindering me a little bit. The other half went much better. I mean, you got to see 3 or 4 minutes of me screwing around here, and I did the other in really probably no more than 3 minutes. But that's what I'm doing. The old sprayer cab was sitting on the back of Squeak there. Cut off what we're going to keep off of it for tubing. The rest of it I got partially folded up, but skid steer don't weigh enough to fold it up. I'll have to use the excavator. And I got to decide what to do with those 2 fuel tanks there. I had those on a service truck at one point. One was for truck fuel and one was for off-road. So used a common pump and run 2 different hoses to it and just valving. And hell, I haven't used those in a long time. So, but anyway, this is where I'm at. Making a mess. Getting Becky some wet, nasty, half-rotten shit to burn. And then we'll get this thing salvaged and chopped up, however it's going to work out. I gotta laugh. Ty's over there feeding the yearlings. And 023 is still in. Her calf's still running the temp, and she still hasn't cleaned yet. 023H and her baby are fine, so they just got let out. But 023, everybody knows her deep growl. She's been yelling at Ty Lynn for the last hour, and Ty says, I finally got her to learn how to whisper. And she's back at yelling again, just like that. And Becky's been using her bike. Becky should be whooped.
2.5 backpack sprayers full. Sprayed. And 1 floor bed down.
See, we're green in the yard? It won't be. Get a couple sunny days and that'll disappear.
The sad thing is, I have about 3 or 4 more backpack sprayers I need to do before I even hit fence rows. That's just in and around the building.
And I told her I'll be nice to her. We'll put my sprayer on the back of her bike. I just gotta get a plug-in wired in. And she can use her bike to spray with. But this is like her second or third trailer full of junk out of the flower beds. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
And Rainey, she just supervises.
Oh, lady. We did get
And there's
the
a truck.
Harmless Farmer book in the mail today.
Oh yeah, that came today. We've been waiting for that. Now I gotta find time to look at that. But there's that old bed.
I didn't even know you put it there. Isn't that sad?
See,
I've been driving past and haven't even seen it.
I couldn't put it there till I got the hoe off and put the forks on. Duh.
I know. Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna take the chops out of that. I was like, nah, I think I'll just use the torch. I don't need to pinch anything. See what we're gonna save for sure and cut the rest up in manageable pieces. And that cotton picker, John Deere did something smart. Believe it or not. Sorry, I gotta lean on something. Or sit down, I'll just lean. The main frame on it is 2x4 square tube, at least quarter wall. Well, I don't know what that stuff costs now a foot, but there's enough feet there that are very usable that we're going to cut a bunch of that off. And I'm going to have to make something to hold that engine because I don't want to throw that engine away. You know, I still have a project it could go in. Be nice to put that in a bale wagon if I can. And nothing else. I'll see if somebody wants to buy it. I mean, used 466 John Deere engines are, I looked last night. Cheapest one I found was somebody had one on Craigslist somewhere back east for $3,500. And other than that, you're looking at $4,500 to $5,500 at any of the wrecking yards. So anyway, it's the end of the day. I'm whooped. Everybody's whooped. We'll see how much shit we get done tomorrow. So hey, you know, it's Monday, right? Hope everybody had a good Monday. Oh, and we got a letter in the mail from the garbage company. Garbage pickup here has been Fridays for as long as I can remember. And they changed this in like October-ish, maybe? November, somewhere in there. They changed this to Thursdays. God knows why. Yeah, now we're going to be Tuesdays starting next month.
Bullshit.
Way to screw us up. It's bad enough remembering to go take the garbage up Wednesday night instead of Thursday night. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Run a little long, but yeah, you'll get over it, right? Maybe. Hopefully you watched it all. Maybe YouTube will start paying me again. I don't understand their paying system. You know, a year and a half ago, I made enough I could take Becky out to a nice dinner every month. Now I can't even take her out and get a cup of coffee and a donut. Crazy. I don't get it. Can't figure out how to make them explain it to me, so. Oh well.
Hi, Buffalo. Were you nursing from behind? Buffalo. Hey, turkey leg. Hi, Roadrunner. Hi. You lost your little mate. You did. You lost your mate. He left you. Yeah. So now it's just you. You can say hi. Oh, hi. What's your little tongue sticking out at me for?